And he's just like, oh no, that's the stupidest idea ever. You think Usain Bolt is all throwing up before his races and stuff? No, you have just as much opportunity that I do.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
Naomi Osaka made $25 million in 1 year. You heard that?
Playing a fantastic sport.
I know, that she didn't even enjoy.
She doesn't even, yeah.
Go figure.
That's because it's forced on her when
That's
she's
true.
a child.
That's true.
You know, until you grow up, you're going to be like Richard did with his daughters, but they liked it.
They did
if you've seen the movie.
I did. And so what's funny, I have a similar story. So my dad, like I said, with the whole Jamaica and track, I used to run track. And I started running track when I probably was 5 years old. And I had a track scholarship to the University of Connecticut that I did not take. A full ride.
But that went away. You had scholarship offers. You didn't take it.
I did not take them.
You just didn't care.
I was probably more Naomi Osaka. Naomi Osaka is probably much more successful, but I felt that like I just was over it. I didn't want to do it anymore. The pressure from I never liked running track. Actually, it was just something I was good at.
I mean, I did some sprinting when I was a young man. It was back when they had the 50-yard dash.
Yes,
they called it.
Yes, I did the 50 when I was younger. Before, because remember high school, they don't have
meters.
that.
It was yards.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It wasn't the 400, it was the 440.
Yes, I do remember those.
The 440,
I do remember.
You're much younger than I am.
Yeah, I remember those.
But I just remember the nerves, the tension, the anxiety. Do you feel that in your work?
In the beginning, it was the same, like running track. It was those same fears, that same kind of uneasiness and that same anxiety, especially when you first start. But I think track did help me with that. It's funny as you give that as an example. It helped me just feel the fear and do it anyway. And that was always what my coaches and mentors were always saying, like, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel uneasy or nauseous or whatever it is, but just do it anyway. Just use it. And eventually it does go away. And that's the truth of the matter. And that's probably why most people never start, because they're afraid of that feeling, but it goes away.
Yeah.
You don't have that same anxiety on your 100th race. You think Usain Bolt is all throwing up before his races and stuff? No.
I don't know, probably not.
Probably
he is
not.
awfully thin. But talk to me about competition.
This is amazing. I love talking about competition because I get asked this question all the time, and I do not pay my competition any attention. I never have. I'm not the one that says, do your research and see who your competitors are. You notice I've never said that. I don't think that matters. I feel like you are God-centered and you are enough for whatever it is. And it doesn't matter how many other people do what you do. There's only one you. There's only one Noel. And thinking about other people and what because those people all started before you. That's another thing. Why would you compare yourself to someone that planted their seed, started watering it, putting the sunlight on it all before you got started?
Yeah, but you have a bunch of people seeds you've planted.
Yeah.
Do you see them as competition?
I don't. No, I do not. I don't think people have competitions. I don't believe in that as really as a concept. I think that's why I didn't enjoy track and field. I don't think that we need to compete. So if you come along and you're different than me, you have just as much opportunity that I do. Because there's tons of people that didn't like my style. They didn't want to deal with me. And so you have your own thing that you're going to bring to it. You're going to have your own story, your own personality. So there's room for everybody in everything.
But you know what I mean? It's almost like I don't want to bump into my own competition out there. Like I don't want to set up the next person who's going to be taking money out of my kids' mouths.
Yeah.
That's what scares me.
The fun thing about teaching, because once you kind of move away from the doing into the teaching, they're totally not your competition. Noel is really not flipping houses. I'm not. I do not flip houses, but I can teach people how to flip houses very well. But I am not currently looking for flips because I'm on to teaching it. If you started teaching someone how to host.
And what if I did that?
You're not hosting. You're now teaching that. Them. You have your whole client list. Your day-to-day is no longer the doing, it's the teaching. And now those people that you're teaching, you're going to teach them to do it and to teach it.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
So it's like you growing made space for those next people behind you. So it's like you lift as you climb.
Yeah, lift others as you climb.
As you climb.
Yeah.
It's his own thing that's bigger than just doing it.
Right. Well, and 𝗂𝐲 would call that the abundance mentality too, where there is enough and more to go around.
Yes, there is.
Even though people with semi-limited and closed minds like me that sometimes are scared and go, really?
Yeah. That was that was the last job I ever worked.
What was?
The person that I'm telling you that said, you are creating your own competitors.
Yeah.
Was the last job I ever worked. I had literally got scared. I quit my job, got scared, ended up taking another job at a mortgage company. It was a vice president's job. And he was like a CEO. And I kind of told him what I was doing on the side, where I was going to start teaching it a little bit more and get out of the flipping. And he's just like, oh no, that's the stupidest idea ever. Wow, that was an amazing episode. If you want my new book, you can get it absolutely free at noelsfreebook.com. Get my new book, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets, absolutely free. You just cover the shipping and handling. Go to noelsfreebook.com. That's Noelle with an S, noelsfreebook.com. I have poured my heart into this book, and I am teaching you all about real estate, how I started with bankruptcy, bad credit, no money, and how you can do the exact same thing too. Check out my new book because I want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.
Of all the different streams of revenue that you've now created for yourself, which one is the primary source of your bread and butter?
Ooh.
The people in the Amazon buy your book.
Yes,
Wow.
they do.
You truly are international.